big road double this weekend. How are you approaching it?
Hopefully with a desperation. It's just kind of felt these last few games on the road that there's been a desire that the other team had that maybe we just didn't quite have. So I think we've got to that point in the season where for us to play every possession, not get too down on if we're playing good basketball and people are making shots and making sure that we move on. So disappointed with the physicality of last game and giving up 20 boards, and so it's been a big focus of the week, and is our physicality and our rebounding and making sure that we give ourselves enough possessions to have a chance to win.
Do you get a couple of reinforcements back, mate?
Yeah, it looks good. Shay's had a good week of practice. Joe's had a good week of practice, and so pretty sure they're ticked off and ready to go, and might have a full roster.
What does that do for you as a coach in terms of confidence and having all those weapons available?
Yeah, well, we've kind of all year brought people back a little slower than previously, and so we'll make our assessment with these two guys about how many minutes they play. Do they start? Do they not start? But they're going to be keys to us to Shay to add some pace and defense and the things that he does for us, and Joe to be the threat. And I thought him just having a couple of weeks where he could just focus on his body and himself, and he looks in a really good headspace to go out and play basketball right now.
You get the bullets, and your old assistant coach Justin Schuler give me your thoughts on how he's done this year. It's been a pretty interesting turnaround up in Brisbane.
Yeah, he had a goal to go up there and change culture, and he's been challenged with a number of things that have happened with their program this year, and I thought he's stood up to all of those challenges, and the group looks like they've continued to bind together where maybe previous Bullets teams haven't. So proud of what he's done, and look forward to going to battle with him.
They're an interesting defensive side. I know you've talked about it before. They throw a lot of looks at you. How do you prepare for that?
Yeah, I think they've found a rhythm with what they like, and there's probably not as exploratory as maybe early in the season. They've found their kind of home base a little bit, and it's more about which bigs they're gonna put more time into, and we'll see versus us. Obviously, how much Casey plays as well is always something, and comes off 16-minute game up in Cairns was probably his most. So does he continue to play more and more? And Sammy McDaniels and other guys they're Aussies. Bannon have really stepped up. So he's had a great year.
What about Sydney? They're in an interesting situation, I guess, kind of in the play-in at the moment and fighting to get back up to the ladder after coming off the 2 championships. How do you see them?
Yeah, both teams are going to be super desperate and playing at home, and us coming off a tough loss. I'm sure they're licking their lips with us coming in, but Sydney are capable as anyone of putting heavy scores on the board, and sometimes their game, whether they make threes or don't make threes is a big thing. But we've found our success against them so far, and although I think probably both games have been behind by a reasonable margin and fought our way back, I thought we were pretty solid against them last time up there. So we walk into Sydney feeling good about how we're going to play in that arena.
2 wins this weekend would lock up a top 2 spot. How important is it as you look ahead to sort of guarantee that top 2 spot and make sure you've got some home games come finals?
Yeah, no, the first goal was to get to 16 wins, and that's always been a top 4 team when you can get to 16, and then you then step on the next goal is to try and finish top 2, and the epitome of that is trying to get home court advantage for all of the finals. So we don't shy away from saying they're our goals right now. That's what we want to hit. Right now, a little more focused on process about how we get better from the Tasmanian game than really focused on the result. But our fans have been amazing all year, and if we can get to a position where we can have them see the maximum amount of games possible that we could play, that would be a great thing.
And you staring at the end of this long road trip to sort of that went over all of January. What have your takeaways been from seeing how the boys have come together on the road and sort of gone up against it?
Yeah, also been challenged with people in and out of the roster, through this period. And I thought, all year when we've kind of faced that, I thought there's been an effort level to say I need to do a little bit more because people are out, and probably that was the disappointment in the Tasmania game, that we didn't quite step up with those guys out like we did in the New Zealand game the week before. So I think us just finding this desperation, and if we could play well through this period, these next two games, and have a positive record of this month on the road, I think we'd walk away feeling pretty good about it.
And as you look, past this road trip, and you look at three of the last four games at home, and it looks like all of them are potentially sellouts. What's that like to see, looking forward, that there's just so much excitement from United fans to get this team back at John Cain Arena?
Yeah, if we get 3 sellouts to close out the year, I think that sets us up the right ways for how we want the playoffs to be. And so our fans have been starved of seeing us at home for a while, and then there's going to be that period of the FIBA window where there's another little stretch, and glad that they can stay connected to us while we're on the road and really buy up tickets and get ready for a performance that hopefully warrants their support.